Pick up a pint-sized pod with your hosts, Angus and Josh.
All right, fellas, welcome back to the second episode of the Pintsize podcast. I'm your host, Angus, and with me today, we've got my co-host, Josh. What are you drinking today, Josh?
I'm drinking Red Stripe.
Red
What are you
Stripe.
drinking?
Oh, beautiful, baby. Some Jamaican in you. You are part Jamaican, aren't you?
Yeah, can't you tell?
It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious from the beard, especially.
Yeah.
I'm drinking San Miguel today. I'll be
Wait,
drinking
actually-
San Miguel probably pretty much every episode. Firstly, do you reckon you want to hear my cancelled roundup of the week? So who I've seen that's been cancelled this week,
Sure.
or do you want to hear feedback from the last episode?
Okay, let's start with the cancel roundup. and
Okay.
move on to feedback.
So, first off, your favourite TV show, BoJack Horseman, cancelled.
Yeah.
Is cancelled.
It's
And
cancelled.
so is Big Mouth. It's for the same reason. Can you guess the reason they've both been cancelled?
Got no idea.
It's because Alison Brie voices Diane in BoJack.
Yeah.
Diane is Asian American, but Alison Brie is in fact just American.
Right.
And then in Big Mouth is cancelled because there's a character called Missy who is mixed race, and she is being voiced by, again, just a white woman. And so,
Right.
cancelled. And I at first thought it was a bit silly, but I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about it more, and it does make sense, because why wouldn't you just hire a black person to do a black person's voice? Like, it's not like they're rare. Like, you can find black people just as much as white people.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
not just hire them?
I don't know. Have these shows actually been cancelled? Have people actually been?
Oh no, well, BoJack's like,
Or are you just talking shit?
no. So I saw this. All my information is based off of like the headlines of Lad Bible articles. So,
No, good source.
but I do know the Big Mouth woman, because obviously Big Mouth is still an ongoing series. She's quit. She's stepped away from the role. So in the next season, she'll still be voiced by her. But after that, she said, "I'm out. Can't be handling the racism that I am perpetuating." It was quite moving, that headline.
Fair play to her to, take a stand and do something about it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I feel you can't really cancel like BoJack Horseman because it's about a guy who just keeps getting cancelled. Like,
I don't
it's
know.
kind of-
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
it's already over. So there's not really like
yeah, you
anything
don't
that
really
can be
see
done.
anyone.
They can't demand that she get recast because it's kind of finished.
Yeah.
Also, I think Porn is cancelled.
Oh, Paul.
Porn. Mia Khalifa, are you aware of her?
Mhm.
You are. I wasn't before all this, because I'm not really like you into that scene really. But
Okay.
she basically said how she was only in pornography for 3 months when she did it, and she got like skyrocketed in the like porn community, and like she was like the queen of porn. But
This is old news.
what's this?
This is old news.
But it came out again recently because she made a TikTok basically saying that she was depressed.
She did like an interview on the BBC where she just talks about how like awful the porn industry is and how it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, for the amount of money her videos like bring in, she gets paid nothing for it. It's like, and everyone like knows her for that. It's like nothing else anyone knows her for really.
Also, she became famous because she was like Arabic and she like did porn scenes wearing a burqa. That's like was her like claim.
From what I've heard, yeah.
It's allegedly. But she apparently she's had like a pretty awful reaction from like people in like Lebanon and stuff. She's Lebanese and they've just kind of people have like sent her death threats and stuff for kind of dishonoring Islam and stuff. It's been pretty peak, even worse than like most porn actresses go through.
I didn't think she was Lebanese because I think she's got a boyfriend.
Stupid.
But no,
I'm gonna
like,
get cancelled out because you make jokes like that.
oh, true. I want to make it clear as well. We're not like mocking the like cancelling because
Right.
it might seem like we're just making fun, but it's good stuff that like we both said it's good that the big mouth woman has recognised that, and I think it's good that people are speaking out against porn because I think there probably is a way to have porn be, user friendly. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, friendly to those in the industry. I reckon you could be the first like wholesome porn director.
Yeah. You could be
You
the
look
first
like a porn director.
Right.
You could do it. Just like
that,
fair wages and like making sure there's no abuse and stuff. I reckon you could be the man for the job.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Right.
Do you want to explain why there's no special features today?
Yeah, Vic let me down. I messaged him and he ignored me.
Do you know what I heard? I spoke to Vic about this actually.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a bit out of order that he just neglected your message. I said to him, "You're the third member of the podcast. You can't just be neglecting the other members." But he said apparently he's gone to visit his family in Kent.
Okay.
And he's not taken a single costume change with him.
I didn't have his key with him.
What's he thinking?
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, exactly. Showing his auntie some bloody judo flips.
Yeah, what if he gets into a street fight? What's he gonna change into?
How's he gonna assassinate people if he's not wearing his Assassin's Creed costume?
Yeah.
That being said, he has been practicing. I saw him on his Instagram story today. He had a air rifle and he's shooting bullets at a can.
That's true. You shouldn't be allowed a gun.
It's an air rifle. What's he gonna kill? The air?
Fair point. So, what was the feedback? What was the second point on the agenda?
Oh, okay. So this feedback is pretty much not come from anyone. This is just what I noticed when I watched back the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Firstly, you look very red.
Mm.
And I think that's what I mean. Maybe I need to learn color correction, or probably easier, you just paint your back wall. Because I think it's the wall.
Back wall.
Yeah, paint it blue,
Sure?
like navy blue.
It's like the lighting.
No, dude. I think it's part alcoholism and part the wall behind you.
Irish ancestry.
So what colour will you paint the wall?
I don't know. What do I go like red so I look less red in comparison?
No, we wouldn't be able to see you. It'd be like camouflage.
Like,
you got to go green so we can put you in space or something like that.
Green screen it.
Yeah, exactly that.
You know how to do like green screen with the edit.
I don't know, but figure it out.
You're the one who edits it.
Which brings me on to the next thing.
Practical effects. It's not done on my end.
It brings me on to the next thing. We're no longer sponsored by Filmora. They dropped us as a sponsor. They didn't mind my comments about French. They actually didn't like your comments about the University of Birmingham. They thought it was out of order what you said.
I say.
I don't know. I edited something in later, just like pretending to be you, just slandering it really. But they saw that and they thought we're having none of that. That's an establishment of higher learning. We're not about that. So they're out. But thankfully, I've found another free editing website that doesn't put a massive watermark over your whole video, and then at the end. So I think we're in luck with that.
Nice.
And then my third worry was that on the salute at the end, I did the salute. I noticed that I lingered a bit too long when I had the salute like extended. And I watched it and I thought, that's too much. That was too much. So I was scared about that. So that's the feedback. So yeah, if you could, basically all you need to do is stop slandering establishments of higher learning, and you need to paint that wall behind you green. And I need to not present myself as some sort of fascist.
So you went with the McLovin t-shirt, like anti-fascist McLovin.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he did anything fascist in that whole film. We're also on Spotify and SoundCloud now. I figured out how to get us on Spotify, and the our little picture is pixelated to fuck. You can't really see the picture.
On what? On Spotify? Like the background?
Yeah, no, just the picture for each episode. I'm just using the little pint-sized logo, but it's just super pixelated, so you can't really see it properly.
I think that I've been explaining it. I was speaking to Chris about the podcast. You know, he's an avid fan.
Is he actually? Did he listen?
Yeah. And then he refused to come on as a guest. But you know, we'll get him in eventually. I expect it's lo-fi. This is lo-fi podcasting, so it's, you know, shitty quality.
Oh yeah, beats to study to.
Yeah. Next one of those.
Do you reckon anyone will ever have sex listening to this podcast? Like, we'll be in the background whilst they're having sex.
Yeah, obviously.
What do you mean, obviously? I don't think that's obvious.
It's a given.
When you're blasting it at 10 p.m. and your parents are in their room. Mum, Dad, listen to this.
Jesus.
Oh, that's horrid. You're a horrid man.
Yeah, okay, you know, I kind of that's it. I'm done. I'm cancelling the podcast here.
Do you know what movie I saw recently that was terrible? And you're going to be upset that I think it's terrible.
Hmm? Oh, I think I know what it's going to be.
No, guess. Have a guess.
Is it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Bang on the money. It was awful.
I'll give you, like, it's kind of slow up until that last scene where, like...
Yeah, it's nothing happens the whole time except for women's feet.
there's the scene where he's in the hippie ranch is pretty good. You know,
no, that was so long.
Yeah, the whole film's long, but then it, like, the payoff when you get to that final scene where he's like, when the Manson family turn up at the house, that's
the thing. I thought the whole film was going to be loads of Manson family.
Yeah, no, it's only a little bit. It's subtle, Angus.
No, it wasn't subtle though. It was boring.
I'll give you, like, I was feeling like pretty like, oh, is this film going to be really boring? Like at halfway, and then about like 75 way through, I was like, oh shit, I've been waiting for the payoff and it hasn't come, and I was like just losing hope. When I watched in the cinema, and I was like, is it going to be just 2 hours wasted? You know, is this just, has he fucked up? And then that last scene, at least for me, just like made up the entire movie. Like that kind of
even
payoff.
The last scene wasn't that good.
I thought that scene was like the best use of violence in any film I've ever seen. Like,
my favourite
like,
scene was when he beat the shit out of that karate guy.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, when he smacked him up. It was
Bruce Willis.
I like that because he was being all cocky and then he was like, smacked him into the car. It's quite cool. If that had been the whole film, I would have loved it.
That was a controversial scene because everyone was like, Bruce Lee wasn't cocky. He was actually like a pretty good guy. And he didn't deserve that. But
how is that the controversial scene and not the scene where the bird's got a filthy little trotters up on the dashboard of the car and it's like zoomed in on it and she's being like, ooh, and it's like heavily implied that she's like underage. That scene for me weirded me out.
She says she's underage.
Well, yeah, pretty much. And then, but Tarantino's like known for having a thing for feet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He put it in because it's like it's a joke at his own expense because everyone's always made fun of his like foot fetish.
Yeah, but so it's also like it's a joke at his own expense. Like he's poking fun of himself, but he's still also providing himself with like hours of footage of feet. So it's like it's still just as creepy.
It's all as a con so you can get like
yeah, imagine like someone is like a known nonce and then someone says, oh, you're a nonce, and they're like, well, to poke fun at myself, I'm gonna go have sex with a kid. Like, it's awful.
Yeah, except
and he's got away with it.
Evil about a woman's foot. Whereas like child porn.
An underage woman's foot.
Yeah, but she wasn't actually underage, was she?
No, not actually, but it's still playing an underage woman. The whole thing is still there, set up to be this person is underage.
Yeah, but you're not meant to be like objectifying. You're meant to be like laughing at the fact that Brad Pitt won't have sex with his underage girl. That's like the bit.
Because would never happen in real life. we should say that was a joke because I don't want, when Brad Pitt watches this.
He could beat the shit out of us.
Yeah, with just one of his lawyers could beat the shit out of us.
Yeah, we're not tough or smart.
Yeah, no, that's true. I thought I'd let you know as well, I'm an influencer now.
Yeah?
Yeah, did you see, you saw that TikTok I sent you of me bullying that kid?
What, the one with the girl with the cigarette in her ear?
Yeah, but it's not like a cigarette. She was doing that thing where you like meant to draw the wax out of your ear. Have you never seen those videos? Usually people use like a candle thing, but it basically draws out all the wax.
They go to like a doctor and the doctor like puts like a suction thing in their ear.
No, it's not that. It's not the Hoover ones. It's literally like a candle. They stick it out of their ear, they light it, and then it like burns down, and then they unravel this like paper candle thing, and there's all the wax in it. Well, some people put like a paper plate to cover their ears so wax doesn't drip on them.
You can use like olive oil. They give you like a medical grade. Like,
I
really
did that once.
Olive oil to clean out like wax for your ears. I don't know what lighting a candle on fire out at your ear.
It works because I've seen videos of it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this woman, it didn't work. But yeah, basically I just put a joke because it looked like a big spliff. I said, "All right, chill out, Snoop Dogg." It's the worst like sick form banter, but it's just people loved it because I think all of TikTok is sick formers and like younger.
Yeah.
So they loved it.
You're pandering to children.
Oh, true, but not their feet. I should draw the line there.
Draw the line there.
But I got 253 likes on one video. Yeah, man.
It's mad. That's pretty. You're up there.
I'm the next Charlie D'Amelio.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So we don't have a special feature this week. We can probably get one in for next week. But what are we saying about guests? Who are we bringing on to the podcast?
I don't want Scott, to be honest.
He's gonna be heartbroken when he sees this.
Well, he said he didn't want to be on it, which I thought was outrageous. I think if we can secure Jason Manford for an episode, people would eat that up.
Yeah, he's a good friend. I reckon we could get
Jason. We could get Jace. Who else would be a good guest? I think we should pick someone that we've not spoken to in years and just try and get them on. And it'd be really awkward because we didn't know how to talk to them then. How would we talk to them now?
Get Fergus in.
Fergus would be a shout, but I don't think he's very... Oh, actually, I was about to slander the boy on the podcast. I don't want to, in case he sees this.
Don't slander anyone, mate. Can't afford to.
Oh, wait, we're not using his real name if we say Fergus.
Yeah, that's true.
His voice annoys me a little bit, so I don't think I could listen to him for a full podcast.
Right. Yeah, he might have something more interesting to say than we do.
What do you mean? We talked about people getting cancelled. We talked about your face being red. We talked about bloody Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We talked about my budding TikTok career. Yeah. You haven't had anything to say, lad. You tell me something that's going on in the world.
It's all depressing, isn't it? There's not like a lot. Nothing we can talk about that's kind of that's important, that's going on. We can shed any light or make any kind of useful or sentient point about. It's just.
We could give it a go, lad. And it doesn't have to be depressing. It's depressing if you make it depressing.
The world's depressing right now. We got locust swarms in East Africa. We've got and kind of going through Asia. We've got global pandemics. We've got World War III on the brink between China and India. Not a
Hey,
lot of
man,
good.
China and India are fighting.
Mm. You not hear about like there was like 20 Indian soldiers killed last week or 2 weeks ago.
No, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, it was like a border clash because China and India are like, pretty contentious for being the big boys in Asia or in the world. So,
Yeah, true.
like,
India's like, is India a superpower now?
yeah, 2020.
That's you can't say that.
Why
That's a
not?
that's a
It's true.
4chan meme. 4chan is cancelled. Definitely
Don't wanna-
4chan is cancelled.
I feel like it's true. They are a superpower and it's 2020. So,
Do you remember when we were trying to be edgy sick formers and we were too scared to go on actual 4chan? So we used to go on Reddit and look at 4chan posts on Reddit.
I think when we went on, I remember going on 4chan once in school and instantly seeing like cartoons of children naked and just like closing it down and be like, absolutely not. This is an awful website. I don't want anything to do with.
You used to show me like 4chan posts from Reddit and stuff.
I'm pretty sure you showed me. You were the
I
edge.
thought you were the one that introduced me to it.
I don't know. Maybe was it Louis who introduced both of us?
I don't even remember Louis.
You don't remember Louis? Mate, he's only been gone a couple years.
Mate, Louis, I've never heard of him.
Who?
No, we should get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Open up the international market.
what did we used to call our little gang, the three of us? Oh, wait, no, we can't say that. That's definitely cancelled now. We can't say that. That was year 11. We'll put this in the on the Patreon. We'll put the real name on our Patreon, and people will see it there. I haven't mentioned on the other podcast. We've got a Twitter. We've got a Twitter account. Yeah, at Pintsize Pod.
Had a lot on this week, have you?
You know what? I created the Twitter about 3 weeks ago, like before we even decided to do the podcast.
Right. How many followers we on the Twitter?
2.
Huh?
One of
Getting
them's me.
Well, look at the good side. I'm not the other one, so it means we have a fan.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend.
It's a bit of a cheat, isn't it?
Yeah. But to be fair, we don't really release any content on there. So far, we've just uploaded.
Not break up with her. We'll lose our own fan.
But yeah, all our content on there at the minute is the first episode got uploaded there, and then we've got a tweet where there was a challenge on Twitter. You know, back in the day, Justin Bieber challenged Tom Cruise to a fight.
Yeah. Wait, was it Tom Cruise?
Yeah, it was Tom Cruise. And there's now a challenge where you find someone who's 31 years older than you, a celebrity, and you try and fight them, and you'll never guess who's 31 years older than us.
Is it The Rock?
No, it's bloody Joe Rogan himself, the king of podcasts.
I don't think we could take Joe Rogan.
Definitely not.
Not even close.
The man's an egg, but he's like a well-built egg.
Yeah, but he's also like, didn't he used to? I know he comments on like UFC, but didn't he used to be like a fighter as well? Like
Yeah,
do, like
big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Right, we'll get Vic in though. Vic can represent us. He's
judo true. Master. No, Vic loses. Vic loses judo matches constantly.
Wait, no, he
doesn't lose. To be fair, he comes second.
You're right.
In a judo fight, Vic always comes second.
This slander, he's going to sue you.
It's all right because he described himself as the Carl Pilkington of the podcast.
Fuck. Does that mean I'm merchant?
You're taller than me, so I think you have to be.
Fuck. That's not a good one.
But I didn't have the heart to tell Vic that like Carl Pilkington's actually quite funny. But I just let him think he was the Carl Pilkington. But that means we have to rib him a bit, especially since he's let us down so hugely this week.
I know. I can't believe it. So rude. I sent him a really nice message asking him for some content.
Can you read out the message you sent him?
wasn't that exciting. It was just like a please
Wow.
send me a video.
You didn't like flower up the message at all.
I asked him how he was.
That's good. How was he? Didn't respond, so you don't know.
Didn't respond. Don't know. Dead for all I know. Find out he's in
Oh.
Kent.
Well, I've got another mate in Kent, my mate Tav, and I asked Vic if he was going to go see him, and he said no, not a chance. Hate him. Despised man.
Well, Tav's got beef with me for cock blocking him when it was you just as much.
How was it me?
Because we were both there.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting all up in his, like, between them.
No, neither was I.
It was literally my idea to go outside and sit with Tav as well, I think.
We were like, yeah, I was just following you because I was there with a bunch of your friends who I didn't know. And
to be fair, I only knew 3 people there, and you were one of them.
that's true. That was what was the club called?
Pickle Factory.
Pickle Factory in London. It's
Yeah.
a weird spot, especially when you're at a night where it's 60% the DJ's family.
Yeah, they were all like in their 40s at least. But it was like techno as well, which you don't expect. But yeah,
It was really good. But there were lots of like aunts and uncles wearing shirts and like it looked like a family gathering. Like, but it was techno music played. It was.
but yeah, Tav was trying to get with what I assume was one of Sam's aunties, and me and you cock blocked him. But he's got the real issue with you because you did cock block him more than I did.
We're just standing there. And then I think afterwards he was like, "Oh, why didn't I get with her?" And you were like, "Josh cockblocked you." So you just remembered it. How you've shaped the narrative.
Right. To be fair, I think Tav cockblocked himself because Tav hasn't had sex in like 3 years now. In our first year at uni, he was a monster. Like, but I think he was more of a romantic guy back then. He just started his English degree. He was doing poetry all the time, and I think he was just more in touch with his emotions. And then years later, the years broke him down, and he just didn't have the chat anymore and lost interest in women. I think, to be fair to him,
We'll get him on. We'll get him on and ask him about that.
we'll get
Really?
Tav on. Tav will say about 3 words the whole podcast, but we'll get him on.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
You make fun of some of your friends now. I'm taking all the heat here.
Well, we already talked about Jason Mansford, and he fucking hates being called Jason Mansford. So, so it probably evens out. Also, I don't have that many, so like.
Also, good point.
We'll get James Hill on. James Hill will have some insightful comments. We'll get him to do a music section because he knows all about kind of obscure music.
Oh, you won't play any music?
Yeah, well, we can't. We'll do obscure music that's copyright free.
No, I meant like as in he himself will play the music.
No, he's a connoisseur, not a producer of music.
Oh, I see. We'll try and get him to do some vocals at least, I reckon.
Yeah, he might. I don't think he will, but worth a try.
For the podcast, he will, surely.
We could get Chris and Tav on at the same time. If Chris doesn't want to come on and say anything, and Tav won't say anything.
Firstly, don't slam your can down so aggressively.
I'm sorry.
It's going to sound awful on the playback. You joking me?
Well, I didn't hear it that loud.
Have a little bit of pride. But yeah, no, I reckon Chris and Tav on the same episode will be great because Chris is just a version of Tav.
Yeah. Yeah, not all of us can afford an expensive mic like you. You know, we're not all professional social media influencers.
Mate, this was the finest piece of gear for YouTubers back in 2014. Let me tell you. The snowball mic, crazy. Anyway, I think that probably does it for this episode. Oh, you've not even finished your red stripe yet.
I'm sorry, I didn't realise I was in a rush.
Yeah, it's the pint-sized podcast. It's a small podcast while you drink a pint.
It's not even a pint. It's like a tinny.
Honestly, disgraceful.
End it there.
You need to come up with some topics of conversation for next week. My notes in my phone all day. I'm thinking. I'm just constantly ticking away, thinking.
Okay. Well, I talked about India and China a little bit.
Right. Oh, I had a brilliant idea. I don't know if I'll actually do it, but I was thinking, you pick a movie scene, a famous movie scene. You describe it to me really quickly, and I try and imagine what it looks like, and I film a version of it for our like YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we just upload it as a bonus.
Final episode, we'll upload $100 Baby in its entirety.
Oh, I thought I found it the other day, but I didn't. But think of a movie scene for next week, and we'll do it, and then I'll see if I can rustle up a one-man show.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Wait, so are you going to film it for next week?
No. Next week on the
I'll
podcast, you describe it to me,
week.
and then next week I'll film it and upload it.
Okay.
Now I guess a few more subscribers, hopefully.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Probably.
Any final words before we finish up?
No.
All right. Salute.
No.
Salute for the end. It's the end. What should be our like little thing to say goodbye to our fans?
All the good ones are taken, aren't they?
Yeah, I reckon we just say, see ya, fellas.
I don't like it.
What? You don't like see ya, fellas?
See ya, fellas.
Later, skaters?
It's sexist, isn't it?
Ooh. Right, well, think of one off the cuff, really quick. One to say. Say it, I'll repeat it straight after you, and that'll be it.
See you on the flip side.
No, that's already one. That's already definitely taken.
Yeah, but that's pretty generic. I don't know any others.
See ya, fellas. That's perfect. That's perfect.